Drivetime Radio with N.Y.Vinnie.
On this week's edition of Yo, Vinny, what are you driving this week? What about the show?
Yo, Vinny, what are you driving this week?
Have a little fun. It is a fun day here out at
You're listening to Drivetime Radio.
Remember, just plug in. I'm ready.
Here we go. And welcome to another edition of Drive Time Radio. I am your host, N.Y.Vinnie. And for the next hour or so, we're going to hang out and talk cars. And the car business and cool cars and not so cool cars. And we'll review cars. We'll talk about cars I've driven. And talk about the news around cars this couple of days before Christmas. And we'll also, spend some time talking about some of the upcoming stuff for the 2026 season of Drive Time Radio. Hard to believe that it's 2026 and that this show is in March going to hit its 33rd year. 33rd? Yeah, 33rd year in existence. 33 years I've been doing Drive Time Radio. First, of course, with my good friend Michael Knight, and then for a long, long time solo for the past, I don't know how many years that I've been going solo. Anyway, we have been going, and we're going to continue to keep going. If everything works out okay, we'll try to make that continue to happen for you. We are brought to you by my good friends, George Jackson Promotions. GJpromo.com is where you'll find them. And if you need business specialties of any kind, I know it's a little late for Christmas presents, but if you're the kind of person that in their course of business, or you just like to buy T-shirts for your friends and your family reunion and things like that, that are, custom made and done right and made in, a place where you can trust where they come from. You can trust that you're going to get them on time. You can trust that the person that you ordered them from is the person who's going to have a hand in making them and is local and is somebody that if something goes wrong, you can pick up the phone and call and say, hey, George, this isn't right. And George is going to say, hang on, I'll fix it. See, that's the thing you don't get in America these days, is somebody telling you, hang on, I'll fix it. Everybody knows how to take your money. Everybody knows how to tell you they're going to do this and do that. But try to find somebody who tells you that they're going to fix it and then fixes it. Well, that's George Jackson at George Jackson Promotions. And if you need anything like that, just go to GJpromo.com on the internet. Go to his Facebook page at GJ Promo, and he will be able to get in contact with you. You get in contact with him. And whatever you need for your business, from business cards to business card holders to calendars, appointment books, all of the stuff that you give out at this time of year, George is going to have it for you. And all of the stuff that you use throughout a year. If you are an athletic director at a college and you have to give out seat cushions, George has got a good place for your people to put their butts on, okay? So check out George, and a Merry Christmas to George and his family, and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year to all of you out there, as we are busy on this end of Drive Time as well, getting the year-end program together. The 5 cars that I drove this year that I did not want to give back, something that we've been doing for many, 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 many years. And this year is no different. Maybe maybe the pickings are a little bit slimmer this year, to be honest with you, than they have been in years gone by. And I don't know if that's due to budget cuts with manufacturers, certain cars not getting up here, me not getting to certain cars. But I've driven enough really nice cars this year to pick five out that I absolutely did not want to give back. I think the number one, and it's kind of a battle going on in my mind, um, of what the number one car is. And I don't know that I've resolved that yet. So but that show will come up in the first week of 2026. So I hope you're all doing okay. I know it's a crazy week. It's a busy week. You're getting all your shopping done. You're getting all your Christmas cards. I just got my Christmas cards in the mail yesterday, so I'm happy that I did that. You know, I'm not the greatest in the world when it comes to getting cards in the mail. I try as best I can, but I don't know, man. I just screw it up, it seems. It should be a simple thing, right? Write out Christmas cards, but you got to find people's addresses. You have to, scramble to find some people's addresses. Then, God forbid, you forget about sending a Christmas card out to somebody who sent you a Christmas card out last year. And there's always one or two of those. You sent one to them, they didn't send one to you. They sent one to you, you didn't send one to them. You got to reconcile all of that, don't you? Some people will say, no, I'm one of the guys that I think, hey, let's reconcile this. Let's make sure that if you sent me a card, I sent you a card, and we just keep it all on the up and up, okay? All right. Sorry, my throat gets dry. You'll notice that I drink a lot during the show. My throat gets dry. It's a product of old age. I asked my doctor earlier this week. I had a eye examination. Just hey, do me a favor. Just do me a solid, man. Tell me what's wrong. And he started going to some eye stuff and this and that. So I'll worry about it after the new year. I can see enough to drive down the street right now. That's the important thing. Although, if I were me, I would not get in a crosswalk in front of me. I would take that on advisement. If I see me coming down the street, you'd be well served to stay on the sidewalk. Although I don't know how people get the nerve to just jump off the sidewalk. This is something that you see on the West Coast much more than the East Coast. The East Coast, people stay on the sidewalk until all the cars pass. Here, it almost seems like they challenge you to not to run them over. And that's why so many people get run over out here. All right. We're going to get into the car stuff here in just a second. It's a very busy day with news items and things, some tragic, some good. We'll have in just a couple of minutes 5 things that you can buy for that car nut in your life. If you're still scrambling for a Christmas present, I've got 5 pretty cool things that you can buy that will get to your house or their house before Christmas Day, and so that you'll have something to give to that car nut, something extra. They're mostly kind of stocking stuffer type things, because I figured that you knew what you were going to get somebody that loves the car. Like, I'm not going to give you where to get a hood for a Porsche or something like that right now, because you know that already. If you're buying something for somebody in a Porsche and you want to get them a hood, well, if you don't know where to get that already, then you shame on you. But I'll give you 5 gifts that you can buy for the car lover in your life. That is something that you should have. It is the Christmas season, and one of my favorite that you can see right back of me, this Gulf station on Long Island, New York. And if you're from Long Island and you're listening, you probably passed this gas station at one time or another. But this gas station used to be out on Long Island. It's an old picture that I've had for years, and every Christmas I like to put it. I got a couple of others. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures Christmas pictures of my dad's gas stations. The several that he owned, I just don't have them anymore. I don't know what happened to them, but this is pretty representative of one of the stations that he owned and what you would have seen if you would have gone and visited Joe at Christmas time for whatever reason you might have had to do that. Very important. Um, One of the great things that I got this week, and if you're from New York, this is gonna crank you a little bit. But I opened up my mail, and it's been hard. But I opened them up this morning. I did not open the box until this morning. But if you know, you know. These are what the Italians like to call rainbow or colored cookies. These are the actual real deal. These are not the ones you can buy. We used to be able to get them at Bed Bath and Beyond and some of the other places. They got six. And these are the tricolore cookies that were modeled after the Italian flag, and they are dyed and red. What is it? Like kind of, I guess it's raspberry jam in between the layers, and uh, you have the almond cake. You know, the cake has an almond type flavor, and the chocolate on the top and the bottom, and they're delicious. This is the one cookie that you have that you just you take a little bite at a time. You don't scarf this thing down with a cup of coffee. You eat this like you're on a desert island, and this is going to be the last one you ever get. So I'm going to save that for a little while, but I wanted to show because I know there's people listening that would look at that and go, Vinny, I'm jealous. And not that I want to make you jealous, but I know that there's people listening saying, look, that's a very good thing that you have right there, Vinny. That's something that you should be happy that you have somebody in your life, and they come from my sister. She sends them to me almost every year from Ferraris in New York on Grand Street. And, Ferrara, I mean, there's other places that make them. My favorite is Laguli in Astoria. But I don't think Laguli does mail order. And on these cookies, you take them from where they're so good that you take them from wherever you can get them. You don't fool around. If somebody wants to send you rainbow cookies or colored cookies, you take them and you say, mille grazie, a million thank yous. You don't mess around. And and so that's an important thing. All right, what's going on in cars this week? Well, kind of a quiet week. The markets are, if you want an insight into the markets, maybe the biggest thing that happened is Ford said that they're going to stop production of their F-150 Lightning, which is their electric F-150 pickup truck. That they're not going to make it anymore. Things are whacked out in the electric car business right now. The White House has made sure that the electric car business would get tanked as much as it could. They stopped subsidies for charging stations. They listen. These guys can't figure out how to get you medical insurance. So let them work on that. I'm not that worried about electric car. The electric car is going to find its way because it's a good product. And if like many other things in life, if you could get past, it's like the vaccines. If you could get past people bad mouthing the vaccines, this country would probably be healthier. I don't want to get into a long political argument, but suffice it to say that Ford is not going to make the Lightning F-150 anymore as of right now. Now, we'll see where this all goes. I wouldn't throw away the molds quite yet. I wouldn't throw away all the parts quite yet. I wouldn't go running to trade them in quite yet. I would stay tuned because I think more is gonna come. The one thing that has happened in the automotive business is nobody really knows what the hell they're doing. Uh, and this is what happens a lot of times when government gets involved in telling the automotive business how to get better, what to do. Sometimes it works in the case of seatbelts, in the case of airbags, in the case of safety equipment. We have most of the safety equipment that we have today because of government mandates. Backup cameras, lane mitigation, so that you don't go flying out of your lane if you take your hands off the wheel. Safety items that make cars much safer. A, if you're a driver, but B, if you're a pedestrian. Um, we have those things in cars because the government has mandated them. But there's also other things that we have in cars that the government has mandated that haven't worked out as good as people want them to, as good as the car companies wanted to. And that's because the car companies have stepped on them in a lot of ways. So it's a mixed bag. But this is, I think, all going to get straightened out at some point, and we're just, we're just in that phase right now where we're just going to have to sit back and wait. 2026 is going to be, I think, a fascinating year between car prices, between fuel prices, and between um, uh, you know, the meeting place of where electrics and fuel powered, gasoline powered, diesel powered vehicles, natural gas powered vehicles are going to go. It's probably going to wind up, I think, and I've said this before, somewhere in the neighborhood of hybrids. I think if you buy a hybrid, you're probably going to get the benefits of the best of both worlds. You're going to get the benefits of electric, you're going to get the benefits of gasoline, and you're going to get the benefits of the numbers that come with electric, the lower maintenance, the things that come with electric vehicles. Nobody knows for sure, but I think that is the way that it is going to turn out for the short term, because the new car business is in a place where people right now, manufacturers who have to plan 5 years ahead, 4 years ahead, really don't know what the business is going to look like 4 years ahead. Um, you know, manufacturers were planning to have a um, uh, uh, much more presence, much more of a volume of electric cars out on the street. But when the president got reelected or elected for the second term, that went out the window. The subsidies went out the window. The things that all of these car companies were investing a lot of money in were all of a sudden not happening here in the United States. You go to other countries and they're happening. You go to Europe, there's electric cars all over the place. There's charging stations. They've adapted to it like boom, like nothing. But we here, we're slower for whatever reason. And I think part of the reason is that you have somebody in charge of the government right now who doesn't believe in electric cars. If you put Trump on an electric car, he would probably believe in it. If Elon Musk would take Tesla off of electric car and stick Trump on there, T for Trump, you'd probably have subsidies. You'd probably be able to go and get one for free. I'm just saying. It's a little ego maniacal, but all right. Um, let me call up a couple. There's a couple of different things that I want to call up here that is going on that I want to make sure that you get a chance to see, and then I get loaded
And
up
on
here.
this week's edition of
Time,
Yo, Vinny, what are you driving this week?
this whole thing
It's a
gets
cross.
a little
A cross
whacked
between
out.
what?
A little
No,
whacked out.
Cross between what?
There we go. You know, the one thing that I'm not good at with this thing is all of the technical stuff. I got to tell you that I get a little whacked out with the technical stuff. So you have to bear with me sometimes. But it is time for one of my favorite segments in the show. One that I always love, that I always find to be invigorating, if I can get it up here and moving, is where are we here? Okay, lordy, lordy, lordy. All right, let's get it up and going. There we go. All right, it's time for my favorite part, one of my favorite parts of this whole show. Here we go. It is, of course, Yo, Vinny, what are you driving this week?
Cross. A cross between what? It's a cross. A cross between what? Forget about it, huh?
Yo, Vinny, what are you driving this week?
All right, this week I am driving a 2026 Toyota Corolla Cross. And this is a vehicle, let me tell you, but Toyota doesn't make a bad vehicle. We all agree on that. Toyota's vehicles, they have the magic touch when it comes to making vehicles. They just, whatever they touch, I mean, the RAV4 unseated the F-150 as the best-selling truck or car or passenger vehicle in America. The Toyota and Lexus are at the top of customer satisfaction surveys. They are the most trouble-free cars that you can buy, except for the Tacoma. They had the problem with the engines in the Tacoma. But for the most part, anytime you go out and you buy a Toyota these days, you're buying a solid car. And that's why the cars are sell at MSRP. You don't get a deal on a Toyota when you go to a showroom to buy one. You're pretty much going to pay what you're going to pay. But this is the 2026 Corolla Cross. It really is, for the most part, a Corolla station wagon that has all-wheel drive and some limited capability in going off-road. Very little capability, but it'll take you off-road if you want to go off-road. They make them in a hybrid and a regular version. I tested the regular gas version, although from what I hear, the hybrid is maybe the one you ought to be looking at. As you can see, it takes the shape of a Corolla. Obviously, well, it looks like a little SUV. Very roomy inside. You got a sound system in here from JBL that is spectacular, not only with rock and roll music. I mean, you can crank up Little Steven and the Disciples of Soul on this thing, and you will get every bass line, every horn toot, every vocal that Little Steven and his band can push out to you. But you also get a lot of room in this thing. If you're one of them people that like to go car camping, you got enough room to stretch out in the back of this thing. If you're a garage sale person like I am, you have a lot of room to load stuff in here. That back seat goes down. And again, you get a ton of room. This is the top of the line model, the XLE all-wheel drive. And, the electric tailgate, you can stick your foot under the tailgate. It opens up. And everything operates uh, uh, effortlessly. I mean, it drives wonderful. It's not a sports car. It is a car that is meant for you to get in and drive and go to the market, go to the store, go to the city. It handles well. It is great on gas. Gets, I think, around 30 miles to the gallon with all-wheel drive. It really it just it checks off all the boxes on a small family car. If you're a young family, you have one kid, this is the perfect car. The engine in this thing is and again, this is the gas edition. You get about 180 horsepower out of this four-cylinder 2.0 liter engine with a CVT, a continuous variable transmission that you don't get the feel of the shifting gears and everything like that. I mean, Toyota does a nice job of making it feel like a transmission, but the reality is in this thing is that you don't get that shifting gears type of feel. It has a low gear that if you got to go up a hill, if you're pulling something, you'll get that extra power out of it. There's not even a sport mode to really set on this thing. They don't want you thinking that you're going out and driving a sports car. But ever since they put these things out on the street back in 2022, they have really been taken off. A lot of people like them because they want that small SUV feeling. They want the dynamic of not a truck, but a car. They don't want to feel like they're driving a truck. They want to feel like they're driving a car. But it's spacious. The seats configure in a bunch of different ways. So if you have to put a kid back there, if you have to put a skis or something like that inside the vehicle, they're going to fit. It is a solid vehicle. The only drawbacks to this vehicle I saw was that the rear seat leg room is not the greatest. The people sitting in the front have to keep that seat up a little bit for you to have some sufficient leg room. And, you get, it's not the quickest car in the world. It takes, I think it's about 2 weeks to get from 0 to 60. But it's sufficient enough to get you on the highway. It is sufficient enough to get you around town. It is one of the easiest cars I've ever seen to park. And it comes with an absolute plethora of safety equipment. And, I'm talking about, and they have a package that they call a Safety Sense 3.0. And you get blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alert, front and rear parking assist with automatic braking. That means if some kid is chasing the ball and they run out in front of your car, this thing stops for you. Because, you're driving down the street, you're looking at your phone. Well, you know what? This car takes a little bit of the probability that you're going to hit the kid out of the equation. Doesn't do it all. You still got to pay attention, and you shouldn't be looking at your phone. But this mitigates the problem because, listen, Toyota knows that people, for the most part, don't listen to these. Don't look at your phone while you're driving campaigns. Just stop in traffic and look at everybody looking at their phones. Drive down the freeway and look at everybody looking at their phones. So they're trying to make it as painless as they can. Some of the other stuff that's in here is a smart key system so that you have the key in your pocket, you walk up to the car, you put your hand on the handle, and the door unlocks. So you don't have to go fumbling around for your keys in a dark parking lot at night. And I know that that's important to women. Sometimes you get into these situations where you might not feel safe. Well, the car takes care of that for you. You walk up to your car, you put your hand on the handle, the door opens up. It's that simple. Great lights on this thing. It has the daytime running LEDs, and then has at nighttime. It has the the lights that are brighter than. As a matter of fact, they seem like brights. The rear has the LEDs so that you can see it, from a football field away at night. And as I said, I think, a pretty good looking car. So that's what I'm driving this week. We'll give you a full report. We're going to take it out to uh, our test track. I think that the Joseph N. Richichi Memorial Test Track may be open after the floods. Have not been up there since the floods have happened. So I don't know if it's completely open. I know that there has been damage up there, and we're going to take a ride up today and take a look at it and see what the condition of our test track is. We take all of these cars on the same track, or the same course, so that we can compare them equally. So I don't know, the $150,000 Bentley that I drove a couple of weeks ago gets the same track treatment, a course treatment, that this $35,000 Toyota is going to get on the track. You'll know how it acts in several different types of environment that Northwest offers, and we've certainly seen a lot of that this week. So that is N.Y.Vinnie, what are you driving? It is not pretty sometimes. One of these days, when I had a producer, it was a lot easier. And that's one thing I hope that we're going to bring back in the new year, is having a producer. When I have to push all the buttons, I get confused. I really do. All right. I'm going to try not to be as confused as I am, but it is time for us to give you something that I think hopefully will help you out a little bit at Christmas time. And that is the opportunity to find out, give you like 5 last minute items that you can buy for somebody for Christmas that will get there for Christmas. For that car lover in your family, male or female, but it'll get there for Christmas. It'll make sure you have an opportunity to give somebody that loves cars something that addresses the love they have. And what's better at Christmas than to give out a little love at Christmas? All right. Most of these, I've gone through and I have checked out these things, and I know that all of these items are available for Christmas. So if you act today, any one of these items are available for Christmas. The first 2 come from Amazon. This is something that I bought years ago, and I have used it myself several times, but I have also used it to help people out. And believe you me, there is no better way, no more gratifying feeling than to come out of a meeting, come out of someplace at night, and it's cold out or it's rainy out, and somebody can't get their car started, and you say, wait a minute, I can give you a hand. And you go in your trunk and you pull out the NOCO battery boost. It's a simple thing. It is a little box, has a positive and a negative clip on it. It clips onto the terminal of the battery. And I don't know how they do it, but they put enough power in there to crank over a diesel engine. They put enough power in this thing to make sure that you have enough power to boost somebody stuck in a parking lot, somebody that's left their lights on, somebody that's left their, something on in the car that gave them a dead battery. Maybe their alternator doesn't work. Maybe their generator doesn't work. But these are, I think, a great investment to have in the car. It also has a flashlight in it, a strobe light that flashes, or you can put it by your car, and people can see you coming down a dark, can see you stop as they're coming down a dark road, and it'll charge your cell phone. If your cell phone goes dead, you hook this thing into it with a little cable that's provided with the unit, and you can charge your cell phone so that you're never really nowhere. Okay? $99.95 for the NOCO battery. That's on Amazon. Just search out NOCO, NOCO, battery boost. They have an even heavier duty one if you have, I don't know, if you want to go into business and drive up and down I-5 at night, giving people boosts for $10 a pop. Don't think I haven't thought of it. But anyway, it's emergency power. We all need to have power in our lives these days. You can't go anywhere without electricity. And so the NOCO is a $100 investment for somebody that has the potential to save their life someday. And I don't think you can underestimate how valuable that is. And again, a local Seattle company, NOCO, and they are doing a good job making this piece of equipment available to people at a reasonable price. $100. $39.95 at Amazon. They have a roadside emergency kit. If you know somebody that has a car and they don't have this in their car, this is the greatest thing in the world to get it. If you're not going to get in the NOCO for $100, spend $40 and get in the roadside emergency kit. It has flares. It has reflectors. It has a pair of booster cables. It has a flashlight. It has those blankets, those things that look like aluminum foil that you put over yourself if it gets cold. And when you drive through the mountain passes here, it is imperative that you have this stuff in your car, because you do run the possibility of getting into a snowstorm and getting stuck overnight. So nobody should be without a roadside emergency kit in their car. But $40 is one of the best investments that you will make. Okay? It's, again, just put roadside emergency kit into the search in Amazon, and it will be there. I don't make any money from these. I did not do an affiliate link or anything like that. Just look at them, and if it is something that you think somebody that drives the car could use, this is the place and the time to get it for them. A great Christmas present for somebody. All right, the next thing up on our top 5 things, gifts for a car nut that you can still get by December 24th. We live in the presence of one of the best automotive museums in the country. I'm talking about America's Car Museum down in Tacoma, the LeMay Museum. It costs you $60 for a year for a membership. And you get to go, I think it's unlimited times. You get to go to special events now they have a couple of different memberships. They have a seniors membership that's less money, and they have a more involved membership that I think goes for $100 or something like that. But for $60, you can go. I mean, what museum can you get into today for under $20? Okay, so if you go 2 or 3 times, you're going to make your money, or they're going to make the money on this. And the LeMay Museum is a great museum. It's someplace that people should be taking advantage of more, myself included, because it is something that we have this beautiful museum. We have this ability to look at these cars, to learn more about the history of cars. How many of you know that in the early 20th century, Ford made cars in Seattle and Tacoma? How many of you knew that? Well, if you went to the LeMay Museum, you would know that. So $60, you can get a membership to the LeMay Museum. It's at americascarmuseum.org. And check that out. It's a wonderful gift for somebody, and they'll send you a thing right away. You can put it in a little envelope, put it under the tree, and you've made a car enthusiast very happy. All right. Next item up is the Avance Car Club membership. Avance is a group, it's a West Coast group of people who are car enthusiasts. They've gotten together and formed this club that does different activities like cars and coffee. They are doing a nice exhibition at the Seattle Auto Show every year. I think they'll be down at the Portland Auto Show coming up the first part of 2026. And they have memberships that run from $99 to $399. And they have a long list of discounts on this website that once you become a member, you can take advantage of. And you buy a set of tires, you probably get your money back in discounts. And different people that participate in the Avance discount program. You get, they have a beautiful magazine. As a matter of fact, I have a copy of the magazine right here. This beautiful magazine that, again, you get monthly, but I think the 90, I think you get it with the more elaborate membership. That's really, I mean, it's a full class of beautiful cars in it, some beautiful writing, some great writing about cars. And here's one thing. If you're a member, you enjoy 15% off of rooms, gift shops, spa, the lounge, and the dining room, as well as the exclusive reserved valet parking section at the Salish Lodge. Can't beat that. And it's a special group of people. Adam and his people, I got to know them because we do our show from there every year at the Seattle Auto Show. And a good bunch of people that are enthusiastic about their cars. They also lobby local legislators for better roads, better traffic conditions, to try to fix the roads that are here and try to speak up for the motorist. And you can't you can't beat it. So that's something else in there at events.org, I believe. And they would be more than happy to see you there as a member. Okay. The final thing I have on the list is another membership. Memberships are really cool to get, because it's the gift that keeps on giving all year. And if you are not a member of AAA, you are really depriving yourself of the organization that does so much to help out the motorist, not only in the state of Washington, but in the United States of America. And it really should be something that I don't think any motorist should be without. I actually owned a AAA service station for a number of years when I was younger. And I'll tell you, it's well worth when you're stuck with a flat tire, especially if you have a mom or a pop or an aunt or an uncle that maybe is disabled, or they're older and they can't jack up their car anymore, or they get confused. Half of these cars don't even come with a spare tire anymore. For you to go and buy one of these AAA memberships and give them to somebody in your family that you care about, how could you do any better? Again, it's not a fancy nightgown or this or that, but your husband, your wife, especially if you're a guy and you got a wife and she's got the kids in the car. If you don't have a AAA membership, you're 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 selling yourself short. She has a AAA membership. She calls AAA. She gets the thing towed to where she needs to get it towed. She gets the tire changed. She gets the boost. She gets all of the different services that she needs to have, the basic services. Plus, if you're going on a trip, if you need to know gas prices in places, if you need to know where a charging station is, whatever you need to know about cars, AAA has the information. I use it for information about cars. And they haven't failed me yet. Gas prices, trends, all sorts of different things. AAA has it on their website. Um, I think their minimum membership is about $50 a year. They're running a special right now. I think the top one is $130 a year. That gives you, I think, a family membership and a couple of cards, and you can tow your car 200 miles. Well, they'll tow your car 200 miles. It's one of the best deals I think that you can get in automotive is to be a AAA member. Because you like to say, "Oh, I can change that myself," but if it's piss raining like it does here in the Northwest, you know that you don't want to get out of your car and change your tire. You want to call Slappy with the AAA truck to come out and change your tire and tip them $5 or $10 and get it off your get it off your plate. Last thing you want to do is give yourself a heart attack on the side of the road while you're changing a tire. Please. So that's something that you need to pay attention to, and those are 5 things that if you're running around trying to say, "What can I get this guy?" I know this woman loves cars. Yeah, you can go into O'Reilly's and get a couple of air fresheners or something like that, or a thing that's a waste basket. And by the way, those things are at the dollar store for like $1. The waste basket that you stick into your cup holder and you swing it. Like I said, $1.50. They got it at the store, at the dollar store. And those are always great things too. I bought one this week when I was in the dollar store buying gift wrap. I bought one for my car. Because I tend to generate a lot. I write on papers. I generate a lot of garbage. Obviously, by the show, you can tell. And so it's good to have that little piece of junk collector that sits right in your center console. So that's one of the things that you really should think about as well. All right. Got a couple of things that happened this week also, a couple of news items. I want to go starting with last night down in Tacoma. State Road 509 on a crappy night. It's wet. Places are flooded. And the people who don't want to get out of their cars, but they do get out of their cars. The people that do serve us, and I know that a lot of times it's easy just to say, well, people, they're only out there giving out speeding tickets and this, that, and the other thing. But the Washington State Patrol, I think, does a great job of helping motorists out and stopping things before they get out of hand on the roadways. And last night, a trooper was killed on State Route 509. Trooper Tara Marisa Gooding, 29 years old. She just got out of the Trooper Academy in, I believe, October. She was standing outside of her patrol car looking at a two-vehicle collision, was struck just before 7:30 p.m. on southbound State Route 509 just south of the port of Tacoma. We all know that road. A lot of people drag race on that road at night. People stopped and tried to help her, but I guess she passed away at the hospital. And it's just a shame because she was out there trying to help people, trying to, it's been a busy, crazy week for the State Patrol with all of the flooding and everything going on. They're helping people out there trying to rescue people. Her husband is a fire marshal out in North Bend at the school out there. And it's just sad. It's sad that, she, struck down in the line of duty. She not only did she serve the State Patrol, but prior to joining the State Patrol, she served in the Army National Guard. As I said, her husband, Timothy, is a fire training academy instructor, I believe. And it's just sad. This is somebody who lived their life to serve other people, both in the National Guard and as a state trooper, Washington State Patrol officer. And in a day and a time where we, so take public service for, for granted, where people don't want to get involved in helping other people. Here's somebody that was got involved, not just as a trooper, but prior to that. So our sympathies go out to her family. Sympathy goes out to her, the State Patrol, who, are all part of a group of people who are dedicated. I know it's easy to get pissed off at them when they write you out a ticket for doing 80 miles an hour in the left lane, or 90 miles an hour in the left lane when the speed limit is 30. Easy to get pissed off at them. But the reality is they save a lot of lives out there. And so to Trooper Tara Marisa Gooding, badge number 720, our thoughts and prayers that and may you rest in peace, and thank you for a life apparently lived in public service and just trying to help other people out. And if you can say that, I believe, if you can say that when you are taken from this world, that you tried to help other people out, that you lived your life in that way, well, that's something that's something that is special, and we should all take note of that, and all take a moment to reflect on it and thank those people that serve us in that way. I know, like I said, it's easy to get pissed off at them, but they are people out there trying to do a job. All right, the other death that I wanted to make note of on the show, and I know we're running a little short on time for our hour show, but a lot of people, when I found out that this gentleman passed away earlier this week, it struck a note. Greg Biffle, the NASCAR driver who was from Vancouver, Washington, and he was taken from the racing world December 18th in a plane crash in Statesville, North Carolina. One of the top drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series. A lot of people. I never interviewed him or anything like that, but from people I know that did, people I know that interviewed him, people I know that worked with his camp, all say that this was a nice guy, that this was a good guy, that he and his family, it was a family guy, and um, a life taken much too young, 55 years old, and our condolences out to the family. And again, a life taken in a different way, but in much a loss to so many people. So I wanted to make sure that we spoke about them. One other happy note for those of you that go to spring training, you are the luckiest people in the world because you are going to get to experience a Buc-ee's. You know what a Buc-ee's is? Have you ever seen a Buc-ee's? Well, Buc-ee's, I guess, is the biggest gas station in the world. It's like a gas station and a convenience store, and it's a shopping mall, and it's everything. And I don't know that there's any of them west of Texas, but they are, from what I hear, opening up, working on opening up, getting it ready for the spring. A Buc-ee's in Goodyear, Arizona. So if you go down to spring training in Arizona, in Phoenix, you're going to get to go experience a Buc-ee's. And a lot of people are going to be happy about that because you'll be able to say that you went to a Buc-ee's. I don't consider my life complete until I get to a Buc-ee's. If you want to know what all the fuss is about, just go on YouTube and put Buc-ee's in to the search. And you'll find how many people just absolutely rave about this place. Buc-ee's is America. You know, there used to be a place when I was coming up called Stuckey's. And if you drove cross countries and you stopped at a Stuckey's, they had these pecan shakes, pecan rolls, and stuff like that. And, we used to drive across country and just stop at these places and, enjoy the pecan shakes and the cheesy souvenirs. It was one of the only places you could get a beaded belt while you were driving across country. Well, but they were relatively small. They were Texaco stations and they had Stuckey's. And now they're I don't think there's any. Well, no, actually, I know there's one left outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. There's a Stuckey's there, and I think there's a couple in New Mexico. But for the most part, Stuckey's is done. But Buc-ee's, this place that started, I guess, to take over from Stuckey's, is a thriving business concern. And as I say, it's not a truck stop. You can't go in there. They don't want trucks in there. They have signs up that say, don't come in here if you have a truck. They want passenger cars. They have 200 pumps for gas. They have barbecue. They have game centers. They have every kind of Slurpee and Murphy and drink you can think of. It's all tailored toward getting you fatter than you are. It is truly America. Buc-ee's is truly America. And they've come in Arizona. So if you go down to spring training this year, you'll be able to see Buc-ee's. And isn't that a happy thought for you, and everybody else? All right, time now for our review of the week, our radio road test. And every year at this time, I absolutely love to bring this one out and play it. I did this one years and years and years ago, and I've served it up in different iterations. And I hope that you stuck with me long enough this year to listen to this, because it's one of the things that I've done that I am so absolutely proud of. I review and drive hundreds of cars in a year. I drive at least one a week, plus different events that I go to. So I top 100 cars a year easy. And nothing gives me more pleasure than to be able to review Santa's sleigh. So,
Now, welcome to a very special Christmas edition of Drive Time as I take a look at a vehicle that we've all seen at some point in our lives, but none of us have ever driven, Santa's sleigh. Now, of course, Santa wouldn't let me drive the sleigh, but he did take me for a test run. It's a very, very cool machine. First off, no top, no doors, so you would think that it's pretty cold inside and the presents would be falling out all over the place. But the hot chocolate-powered heater system guarantees that St. Nick will be able to stay warm as he stops off at chimneys all over the world. And a specially constructed storage area is bigger than any SUV or truck, as it can hold all of the presents for all of the children in the world, and not one ever falls out, no matter what kind of weather Santa hits on Christmas Eve. Now, the bright candy apple red sleigh is powered by a 9-reindeer herd that is able to get it up in the air at blinding speed, fast enough for Santa to hit all 7 continents in 24 hours. And it has a braking system that'll stop the sleigh at every chimney where cookies and milk are waiting for him. The ride is firm and steady, and instead of a GPS, get this, one of those reindeer has a red nose that guides the sleigh. Now, the nose didn't seem to have Bluetooth. There's only one seat in the sleigh, a front bench seat with no padding. Seems Santa takes care of that himself. Santa didn't seem to remember what he paid for the sleigh, so I can't give you a sticker price, but you couldn't go out and buy one anyway. As we all know, Santa's sleigh is a one-of-a-kind custom job. EPA figures on the sleigh put mileage at about 25,000 miles per gallon of lithium. Now, Santa's sleigh wasn't the most comfortable ride out there, nor the warmest, nor the shiniest, as it is pretty old. But as far as reliable, he hasn't missed a Christmas yet. That's a special edition of Drive Time. Catch me on the web at drivetime-radio.com. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas.
yeah, I wanted to get the tribute to Dick Van Dyke and his 100th Christmas. And obviously a sad week for the people that love the Dick Van Dyke Show with the passing of Rob Reiner and his wife. And our thoughts go out to, the friends and family of Rob and his wife. And just a horrible situation to have at Hanukkah, at Christmas. I don't know what to say about it, except that thoughts and prayers to the people that loved Rob and his wife very, very much. A universally loved guy, except maybe for one nitwit in Washington. All right, that is going to put it in the books for us on this couple of days before Christmas, this pre-Christmas weekend. Thank you so much for listening to the show. We will be back. We'll take next weekend off, and we'll be back the first Saturday in 2026 for our 33rd season. And we appreciate that that you listen. We appreciate that you take the time. We appreciate that you write in, that you, and we're going to add something in the new year. We're going to add the ability to phone in and leave us voicemails. We've got a phone number. We're going to get it set up. Who knows? Maybe we'll even figure out how to take phone calls during the show. Oh, I'd have to widen out the show or something for that. By the way, I did want to show you my my Christmas sweater, because sometimes you keep the faith. I got my Mets home run sweater. I love this thing. I got it from the 7-Line Army, and just a great sweater. I'm in the Christmas mood. I'm in the Christmas spirit. Thank you again to our sponsor, GJ Promo, George Jackson. If you need promotional items for your business, if you need something done, T-shirts or jackets or whatever for your business, please give George a call and or jump on his website at gjpromo.com and support him like he supports our show and keeps us on the air. Please also remember to like and subscribe, to go to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe. We're close to a goal that I set to get to. We're only a few listeners away, a few subscribers away. So please, if you get a chance, go to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe and help us out to make the show better, to do things on the show that will make it better. Maybe even get like somebody that knows how to run all of this, push the right buttons to make it. But that's part of the charm of the show, isn't it? All right. Thank you so much for listening. Have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we will see you in 2026, if the Lord's willing and the creek don't rise. Also, remember that Monday I will see you with Michael Knight here on our YouTube channel as we do a couple of shows before Christmas. Have a very Merry Christmas, folks. Thank you so much. And remember, always keep it in mind, as Sammy Davis Jr. used to say all the time, peace, love, and Manischewitz, baby. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.